when Leslie mentioned on your vision, so you can be under the MTO qualifications that restricts your driving, or really you can't drive, but from that range to legally blind is a substantial change.
Yes.
So you get caught up, for those like myself who's not considered legally blind, but I can't drive. So it's, as far as my vision, but in that gap, you almost get lost as far as some of the benefits that may be available through government assistance or some CCRA protections or whatever. So they just look at that gap and you're really sort of lost unless you're totally legally blind.
Okay.
So there is some differences in there where some of the benefits that some people qualify for, others don't, and it's just basically on the margin of vision range.
Yeah, so that's a really good point, because you can lose your driver's license and
Not work,
not
be able to work.
be able to, let's say you not be able to get to work, but you don't qualify for any form of government assistance because you're not yet legally blind.
Blind.
Yeah, they have to set a standard somewhere, and they've set it at 2200. So you have to be 2200 in both eyes corrected to be legally blind. And the MTO standard is 2050 corrected. Once you're below that, then you lose your license. So between 2050 and 2200,
Yes,
you're low vision, but you're not legally
but
blind.
you're not legally blind.
And there's a lot of things that,
Yeah.
particularly
Financial.
financially, that you can qualify for. It's really tough. It's a tough. In one sense, I was very fortunate because I jumped from being over, like I probably averaged 20/40 most of my life in one eye. That's why I could drive. And I jumped straight down to 2200. So I missed that gap. And I didn't know at the time about the gap. I didn't know that there was, if you're in that gap, there's really very little financial system, if any,
And
for
you don't know it, to your point earlier, till you go looking for
till
it.
you go looking for it.
And then you find out that that's
You're not qualified.
Just, you're not qualified.
You're disqualified.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's you learn a lot of the ins and outs when you start to develop different disabilities, and not just vision, any disabilities. And you
exactly.
don't.
I'm
and
sure
you
this
start to-
carries on to other, yeah.
Absolutely. So unless you do know people, I met Leslie through a disability tax advisor. You know, so he understood what was going on, and I became involved with CCB. But unless I talked to him, I wouldn't have known.
That's right.
Yeah.